Hi, I'm Pat Weaver. I teach national and international watercolor workshops, and I'm here at Cheap Joe's. And I'm going to do a demonstration for you in just black and white, a value painting of a little dog. And thought you might enjoy seeing this. It goes pretty fast. So I'm going to start right in the eye sockets first. And I'm using Peach Black, which is made by Holbein. Most of the time I use American Journey, but this is the black I use most of the time for value studies. You could use Ivory Black or most any black to do this. I'm going to start with the little eye area. And I'm measuring as I go, and I'm looking at the space between the eyes, making sure I get that space in there right. And then I'm measuring down to see how far down it is for his little nose, and I'm lining the nose up to see where and it's sort of on a tilt. His head's kind of on a tilt. See if I'm getting that in the right place. I'm going to add a little bit of water to this. And everything that has value on it, I'm painting. Anything that's in the light, I'm leaving white paper. And that's pretty much the way I do most everything. And this is called the stop, so that has a little bit of shading across the top and then up across here. And there's no drawing on this, it's just a direct paint, which is one of my favorite ways to work, by the way. I kind of like to paint by the seat of my pants sometimes, but it's fun and challenging to do. Okay, I'll go out here and find his ears. And I'm going to hang on to white paper. Looks like a place for an ear. I think I'm going to have to drop that nose down just a little bit, so I'm going to drop it down lower. I guess that's where it was before anyway, so it kind of looked like that was it, but this is the nose right here. So I'm going to put it in darker so you can see it better. Now I'm going to go back to the eye area. Get the little eyes in there. Go back to the ears. Soften this down. Put his little, it's just a small little mouth in here. Just quick. Just making an impression of what I see. Go back now and push this darker. Push this darker. I'm still not doing the eyes. I'm mostly just trying to get the sockets in there so I can see where the eyes go. Okay. And I want to lose this edge, so I'm going to go in there and soften this down. Lose this edge. Now I'm going to go over here and find this other ear, and I want to hang on to white paper. I don't want to lose all my white paper. Looking to see where that ear comes off over here. And it's a little bit higher than this one. This one's lower, this one's higher because of the tilt of his head. Hanging on to that white paper. I don't know if this is a little girl dog or a little boy dog. I'm not sure. He's got this long beard down here. Get that in there. Okay, now I've got basically got it blocked in. So now I want to slow down a little bit. And I'm going to use this black just almost with no water in it at all because this is very wet right now, and so I want to be able to control this black. Put that eye in there better. There it is. Go over here and find the other eye, and I'm looking at the nose. I want to make sure I've got this lined up right. The nose lines up if I did a plumb line, the nose would be right lined up with the edge of the eye, inside edge of the eye. And then if I go over and do a plumb line on the other side, I notice that this eye is considerably out further. It's about here, and it's also a little lower. About right there. Okay, something like that. Go back up in here and push my values up in here a little bit darker. A little bit darker up under there. I've never painted this little dog before, so this is the first on this one. I'm going to lift a little light out of the bottom of the eye. Now you can begin to see the eye there. Now I'll go over here and lift some light. Go back and put a little bit more on that eye. And I want to get this softened down and pull a little bit more value around the eye. I note that that ear should probably come out just a little bit further, so I'll just go back in there and put a little more value on it. And there's going to be a darker value up in here. I want to soften this out just a little bit. It's a little harsh. Soften that down. I want to lift some light off the top of the nose, so I'm just going to do that. Take a damp brush, not a wet brush, just a damp one, and pull a little bit of that light off of there. Okay. Pull a little light out of this eye. So you just use a damp brush, and it'll come. That paint will come right off of there. I'm going to switch over now to a rigger, or a round brush. I'm sorry, a round brush, and go back in there and work on the eyes a little bit more. And see if I can get the shape a little bit better. Make the pupil darker. Start to bring this out just a little bit more. It's a little better. Same thing on this one. Okay, now it's starting to get there. One side of his mouth's higher on one side, lower on the other. Now I'm going to go back into the ears. And pull a little more value there. I'm going to put just a little bit more value change right in here. Bring that down just a little bit more, a little bit up in here. Raise that up just a little bit. And I'm going to go back to the ears again on this side. It's my left side. Put a little more value there, a little more here. Fix that. I try really hard when I'm doing something like this to bring personality to the face, whether it's people or it's animals or whatever I'm doing. And I do portraits pretty much the same way. I'll just direct paint them without drawing a lot of times, especially if it's just the face. I'll back up and look at that. I usually work with a mirror, overhead mirror, so I can walk around and see what I'm doing. So I hope this is looking okay. It's hard for me to tell. Okay, and then I'm going to put some highlights in the eyes and on the nose, and I'm going to go back to the casein again. I see a couple little places I need to soften down there, a little bit over here. Let's see if that one ear can get a little bit more value change on it too. Okay, so I'll go back to the eyes. I'm going to straddle this one, the iris and the pupil there, and go over here and do the same thing on that one. That brings life to the little face. Put a little bit of highlight on his nose, a little bit where the nostril is. You can see that a little bit better. And sometimes I'll take casein and go in and pull some white, like here, where if I wanted to indicate a little bit of fur or something out here, I might do something like that. I don't always do that, but just put a little bit of that up in there. And I see a little bit coming over his face, right over the eye, just a little bit. And a tiny little bit over here. And there seems to be a little bit more light here. Soften some of that down. Just use my finger to do that. Just a little bit of casein, not much. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at it, back up and take a look at it and see if I need to do anything else to it. Make this just a little bit darker up in here. I'm still pushing that nose just a little bit darker. The nose and the eyes are the two darkest things on the face on animals. Okay, so here's a little rigger, and I'll just go around with just a little bit of black and just do a little calligraphy on this, not much. Soften those down just a little bit. Give him just a little bit of shaggy look. And go out here on his ears and do just a little bit out there. Okay, so I think that completes our little guy. I hope you enjoyed watching this. It's painting pretty fast, but trying to get enough on here so that you can see. And I've tried very hard to just include 3 values. I've got light, I've got mid, and I've got dark. And so the biggest part of this painting is mid value, and then the next piece is the white, and the smallest pieces in it are the darks. And so that's what I consider when I'm painting, is I break my values down into 3 unequal pieces, a big shape, a middle-sized shape, and small shape, and I do the same thing with drawing, trying to get my values down correctly and my shapes correct. So thank you for joining me for this, and I hope you enjoyed watching it and that you learned something from it. We'll put just a little bit of light in this eye right here just to bring it out just a little bit more, make that the most important eye. Okay, thanks very much, and I hope you'll join me for another snippet session.